In just 40 days, US forces suffered the loss of 42 aircraft, a staggering toll that stunned military observers and shocked planners who had not anticipated losses on this scale. This video examines how Iran methodically developed the tactics, weapons, and intelligence practices that allowed its forces to strike US jets with ruthless precision and increasingly brutal efficiency. The campaign left America's Reaper drone fleet decimated, an F-35 stealth fighter shot down, and multiple KC-135 tankers destroyed, showcasing a level of damage that degraded critical US air capabilities. Did Tehran really achieve what many called impossible, building a lethal network that stripped US pilots of refuge and forced them into constant peril? Investigators say Iran may have combined Chinese and Russian surveillance technology, sharing sensor data and targeting feeds, effectively using those foreign eyes to locate and target US warplanes across contested airspace. The world's most powerful air force may well have suffered its most humiliating wake-up call in decades, a stark reversal that has forced military planners and senior commanders to confront glaring vulnerabilities they had long assumed were resolved. In the span of just 40 days of high-intensity conflict, US forces allegedly lost or sustained damage to 42 aircraft, a concentrated blow that instantly reshaped operational capabilities and raised urgent questions about force protection and situational awareness. Iranian units, employing a blend of tactics and technologies, systematically hunted and destroyed 4 F-15 fighters, shot down 1 F-35 stealth jet, and neutralized nearly 24 MQ-9 Reaper drones, striking at both manned and unmanned pillars of American air power. By fusing surveillance feeds and sensor technology from Russian and Chinese sources, Iran was able to map and anticipate American flight patterns, effectively turning routine routes and tactics into deadly traps for US aircrews. The losses were not limited to enemy strikes. Some aircraft were tragically destroyed by friendly fire during chaotic engagements, while others were struck while stationary on air bases, exposing failures in base defense and command control. MQ-9 Reaper drones were repeatedly brought down across nearly every phase of the fighting, demonstrating that even remotely piloted systems were vulnerable to the evolving anti-access and area denial measures fielded by Iran. These figures come from a US Congress report, which compiles and verifies wartime equipment losses and provides the official basis for assessing the operational and strategic impact. 4 F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jets were reportedly lost or rendered inoperable, representing a significant blow to long-range strike and interdiction capabilities once relied on for deep strike missions. 1 F-35A Lightning II stealth fighter was reportedly taken out, dealing a symbolic and material loss to America's cutting-edge stealth fleet and raising hard questions about survivability in contested airspace. 1 A-10 Thunderbolt II attack aircraft, famed for close air support and battlefield loitering, was also listed among the losses, depriving ground forces of a uniquely rugged and heavily armed platform. 7 KC-135 Stratotanker refueling aircraft were reportedly destroyed or disabled, a crippling hit to the aerial refueling backbone that extends the range and endurance of US combat air operations. 1 E-3 Sentry airborne warning and control system aircraft was lost, removing a critical node in airborne surveillance and command that coordinates fighters, tankers, and ground controllers. 2 MC-130J Commando II Special Operations aircraft were also reportedly out of action, undermining clandestine infiltration, resupply, and tactical mobility missions carried out by Special Operations Forces. 1 HH-60W Jolly Green II Combat Search and Rescue Helicopter was listed among the losses, diminishing the fleet's capacity to recover downed aircrew and conduct complex personnel recovery missions under fire. 24 MQ-9 Reaper drones were reportedly lost in the campaign, a heavy attrition toll that stripped US forces of sustained intelligence, surveillance, and strike capabilities they had come to rely on for round-the-clock battlefield oversight. 1 MQ-4C Triton high-altitude maritime surveillance drone was reportedly lost, reducing long-range maritime domain awareness and the ability to monitor wide oceanic and littoral areas. Military analysts and intelligence experts are now publicly questioning the methods and capabilities Tehran used to repeatedly target advanced American aircraft in combat, probing whether a mix of new tactics, foreign sensor sharing, and improved weapons enabled this sustained threat. This is how Iran located, tracked, and engaged American aircraft across contested airspace, exploiting predictable flight patterns, external satellite imagery, and layered air defenses. Iran launched 2 separate strikes against Prince Sultan Air Base during the 40-day air campaign, hitting a critical logistics and command hub and demonstrating the ability to reach major regional US installations. In the March 27th assault, attackers damaged an E-3 Sentry airborne warning and control aircraft, degrading airborne surveillance and the coordination capability that the Sentry provides for air operations. An earlier strike at the same complex reportedly damaged 5 KC-135 tanker aircraft, undermining the aerial refueling capacity that extends U.S. strike range and keeps fighters on station. The attack package combined 6 ballistic missiles with roughly 30 drones in a concentrated barrage, mixing high-speed strikes and massed low-cost unmanned systems to overwhelm base defenses. Iranian forces likely employed Fateh 313 and Chiam ballistic missiles during these raids, weapons that can carry conventional warheads with trajectories designed to complicate interception. Shahed family drones were reportedly part of the assault as well, adding slow-moving but numerous cruise-type platforms that complicate air defense tracking and expend interceptor resources. The precision and timing of several strikes suggest that Iran received external satellite-derived intelligence, allowing attackers to pick high-value targets with unusually accurate targeting data. Sources indicate Russia may have shared satellite imagery of Prince Sultan Air Base with Iran, providing detailed photos and targeting cues that helped plan the strikes. China-built reconnaissance satellites are also reported to have supplied imagery or sensor data, further enhancing Iran's situational awareness and enabling coordinated strike planning. The U.S. Air Force reportedly lost 25 drones in the campaign, the majority being MQ-9 Reapers, representing a heavy attrition of persistent ISR and strike platforms relied upon for continuous battlefield monitoring. Iranian air defenses, including S-300, Bavar 373, and Tor surface-to-air missile systems, were employed to target and engage MQ-9 Reapers, showing these systems could be repurposed effectively against unmanned platforms. Reapers suffered from operational vulnerabilities, flying repeated, predictable patterns within contested airspace, while Iranian forces reportedly used GPS jamming and other electronic attacks to degrade navigation and targeting. A HH-60W rescue helicopter was damaged while conducting rescue and recovery operations, illustrating the risk to rotary wing assets operating in high-threat environments to recover personnel or provide medical evacuation. Iranian forces are credited with downing an F-15E Strike Eagle, signaling the ability to penetrate defenses and strike advanced twin-engine strike fighters that are central to deep strike missions. Analysts say the low-flying F-15E was likely engaged with man-portable air defense systems, underscoring the persistent danger posed by portable, heat-seeking weapons in littoral and low-altitude scenarios. An A-10 Warthog was reportedly shot down near the Strait of Hormuz region, removing a close air support specialist from the battle space and highlighting that even low-speed, rugged attack aircraft were not immune to modern threats. Iran has claimed to have downed an F-35 stealth fighter, an assertion that, if verified, would represent a highly symbolic and technologically significant loss for the U.S. stealth fleet. Tehran claims it used a so-called Product 358 hybrid weapon, a combination missile and unmanned vehicle, to strike the F-35, a novel concept blending the speed of missiles with the guidance flexibility of drones. The Product 358 is reported to employ silent infrared tracking for terminal guidance, allowing it to home in on heat signatures without emitting detectable radar or radio signals that might alert defenders. The myth of American invincibility now lies shattered across the deserts of the Middle East, its once untouchable aura reduced to scattered wreckage and stunned disbelief among allies and adversaries alike. The deadly collision involving US KC-135 tankers over Iraqi airspace in March 2026 may reportedly not have been a mere accident after all. Two American KC-135 stratotankers collided over Iraq on March 12, an incident that killed 6 US service members. A report published by The Atlantic claimed that Iran-backed proxy groups operating inside Iraq were linked to the deadly collision. According to the report, Iraqi resistance fighters allegedly opened fire on the U.S. Air Force refueling aircraft before the crash. The report further claimed that U.S. Central Command was aware Iraqi groups had fired ground-to-air missiles toward the tankers. The alleged missile fire reportedly forced the American crews to carry out sudden evasive maneuvers during the dangerous mission. Iraqi armed group Kataib Hezbollah had also reportedly claimed responsibility for the deadly attack targeting American forces. However, both CENTCOM and the Pentagon publicly maintained that the mid-air collision resulted purely from human error. Reports further claimed the two stratotankers were operating a mission to refuel Israeli fighter jets during the conflict. The Atlantic report additionally alleged that the Trump administration deliberately downplayed the growing threat posed by Iran and its proxies. According to the report, the deadly incident forced Washington to reassess Iran's military network as a far more serious danger. Attacks targeting American facilities in Iraq, including the US Embassy in Baghdad, also reportedly intensified alarm within Washington. The report further claimed that American officials were already aware Iran-backed groups possessed increasingly advanced military weaponry. This reportedly forced the United States to deploy expensive additional air defense munitions to safeguard American personnel in the region. The rapid depletion of those munitions allegedly triggered growing divisions and concerns inside the Trump administration itself. Reports also claimed Vice President J.D. Vance questioned Pentagon assurances that U.S. munition stockpiles remained fully intact. Meanwhile, Iran is reportedly expanding and upgrading its weapons arsenal in anticipation of another possible phase of war with America. Fresh diplomatic efforts continued as tensions stayed high between the United States, Israel, and Iran. An Iranian source told RIA Novosti that Tehran still possesses advanced weapons that have not yet been used. Iran warned those weapons are ready for deployment if the conflict escalates once again. President Donald Trump said Washington remains prepared for further military action if negotiations collapse. Trump, however, said he was willing to wait a few days to give diplomacy another chance. The latest negotiations focused on ending hostilities and preventing a broader regional conflict. Talks also continued over Iran's nuclear program, sanctions relief, and wider regional security guarantees. Major disagreements still remain over uranium enrichment and the future of Iran's nuclear capabilities.